Okay, DGP 100. Good morning, Steven.
Howdy, episode 100. Can't believe we made it. It's a Friday morning here in DC. Doing well. How we doing, KP?
Feeling good, up early. My voice, I think, is kind of back to normal. My nose is still not clear, though. These allergies are killing me, man.
Spring is here. Spring has sprung, as they say. Spring has sprung. Definitely. Eat your local honey. That's supposed to be the remedy. Eat your raw local honey. That's supposed to help your allergies out.
I tried a shot of lemon juice or lime juice with honey in it the other morning. It helped a little bit. I can't say it helped me fully recover, but it helped a little bit. What's happened, man, since we last spoke?
Since we last spoke, was there a 4-0 win versus Ipswich? Big time things. Champagne on the pod. There was also a 2-2 draw with Crystal Palace. Felt like a dud rubber game. And I see on here we also have the NBA playoffs started. You know I binge watching them.
Bro, the NBA playoffs are back. I can't lie to you. Most of this week, that's been my focus. Like, love the Arsenal. Love watching the Premier League. But at the same time, nothing like a good old high-scoring hoop game, bro.
Who you got? Who do you think looks good right now?
Oh, man, it's so hard because obviously the Phoenix Suns, couple of Southwest boys here who found their way to Washington, D.C., but it's sad. It's sad to see what's happened to my Suns, man.
Suns are in the mud. It's going to be a tough offseason for them boys. Always rooting for them, but it's going to be a tough offseason. I am actually going to pick an underdog here in the playoffs. The Los Angeles Clippers. Kawhi Leonard is back. That dude is back. So they look really, really good right now. They're playing the Nuggets. That's actually my sleeper team.
Clippers are good, dude. Yeah, I was surprised with a couple of their results against the Nuggets. I think last night they actually just beat them by like 10 or so.
They smoked them.
Pretty impressive. I mean, for me, look, when I'm not rooting for the Suns, there's only one team in the NBA that I support, and it's the Oklahoma City Thunder, dude. Back from the Durant and Westbrook days, and this franchise has just really figured it out. They've built another super team, and they're doing it, man. They look fucking good.
This is no bandwagon stuff. I've known KP for some years, and he's like the OKC Thunder since those Westbrook Durant days. Always had a love in his heart for them dudes in Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City, man, big shout out. From the West side, obviously, I'm going with the Thunder. Lakers worry me a little bit just because they're the Lakers. You know, they figure things out always. On the other side, dude, the East is so strange. I would pick the Knicks just because of the Knicks. I feel like that fan base deserves something, right? So at least get them to like the Eastern final if you can.
The East seems a lot less interesting to me. It's really top heavy. It's the Cavs and the Celtics. I think they're going to come out of it, which will be a great matchup between them two. The West is a little bit more open. There's a lot more things that could happen. I mean, the Clippers are a 6 seed. I think the Rockets Warriors series is close right now. That's a 7 matchup, which is interesting. So the West, as is tradition, the West is really competitive. The East is pretty top heavy.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, betting's been really fun. Let me just say, if anyone has a gambling problem, you can contact 1-800-GAMBLER to speak to someone. But if you like to just have fun with it every now and then, NBA playoffs, dude. Recently, I've discovered teasers. Do you know what teasers are?
I do not.
Dude, it's interesting, right? You can like buy points. So, you have the spread, right? It's like Oklahoma City minus, 11 because the Grizzlies suck so bad. But you kind of get worried that 11's really high. So then when you do a teaser, you can reduce that number from like minus 11 down to like minus 5 if you wanted to. Now it changes the odds, but it's been interesting. I've been trying them out and I've been hitting on some. still not hitting on most of them, but that's life. That's just life. Nothing new. Nothing new for me as an Arsenal fan.
Hey, we're gambling again. Back in it. We're always chasing. Always chasing.
Always chasing, dude. Recession right around the corner, so you got to figure some things out outside here, man. That's what the vibes are like. Listen, the Arsenal Premier League action. Obviously, today's episode, I think mostly we're going to try to focus on the semis. That's where all the eyes are. That seems like what the players were thinking about on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever we played against Palace. And we'll get to it. We'll get to the PSG chatter. But first, these last couple of games, what do you make of them, man? Classic Arsenal roller coaster. Amazing performance, rotation, and then a weird lineup, weird result, weird performance. Not sure what to make of it all.
It almost felt like two very different games. I don't know if you got that vibe, but going back to Ipswich, from the jump, I mean, first 10 minutes, it was like, we're here to play. We're dominating. I don't know if it's because of the rotation for that game. Ipswich game, you had, say, Zinchenko. I think you had Ben White. The front three were different because Trossard came in. And then Marino was in the midfield. A little different vibes. Outside backs in that game. I thought Zinchenko played really well. I thought Ben White played pretty well. And then going back to this midweek game against Crystal Palace, it felt like a lot more of a preview for PSG, but Marino was not involved at all. So maybe we should talk about Marino. Is Marino the truth? Is this dude actually like bringing us in? Is he really trying to get us across the finish line this year?
Well, first of all, I hope he's okay. I don't really know. Mikel was pretty under the radar about this situation. He wasn't even in the squad against Palace. So I hope he's okay. Same with Ben White. Like, he came in for a game and then he just disappeared again. So
yeah,
classic Arsenal things happening in the background. But the Ipswich game, there's a big psychological factor with these two games. The Ipswich game comes right after we go to the Bernabeu. We get that result. And then we go to Ipswich. And you can just tell, like, the players, the levels, it's like, yeah, like, we just beat Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. We're balling here today. And then the Palace game, I feel like the psychological factor was that nobody really wanted to try, like, their hardest.
I think that's probably true. It just never felt like a really secure performance. Shout out to Palace, though. Both of their goals. I mean, we've said on here how many times this season, to beat this team, to stay in a game with this team, you got to score some pretty extraordinary goals at times, right? And they did it. The corner goal, Eze, off the training ground, what a hit. And then Mateta. I mean, yeah, Saliba makes a huge mistake. But to finish that thing the way he did, woof. I mean, it's big time stuff. So give credit to Crystal Palace. I do wish Eddie Nketiah got the 90 minutes because I think we would have won. But hey, here we are.
Dude, Eddie wanted to score so bad that entire game. Every time I saw him with the ball, some of the decisions that he was making were classic Eddie, first of all. Like, dude, can you try to pass it, please? Like, you're killing your own team. But at the same time, let's talk about the Mateta goal, because I've seen a lot of finger pointing at Odegaard, actually, surprisingly. People saying, like, just how weak he was in the situation. Some people asking, like, what was he even doing back there? Very strange from the fan base. Like, I know Odegaard hasn't been firing, but to be trying to scapegoat him for something that was clearly your Rolls Royce, it's almost sad.
Odegaard, I mean, I kind of feel bad for him right now. He's not on his game. It just is what it is, right, man? Like, he's just not on his stuff. Don't give me that. For me, that's Saliba. That's 2 out of 3 games he's made a huge mistake. Real Madrid game, second leg, made a big mistake. Costed us a goal. Crystal Palace, I mean, that's on him. That's simply on him. Play it back to your keeper. Let's play it out. Play the long ball, and we're out of the situation, right? I don't know if he's too confident. I don't really know what the issue is. To blame Odegaard, that doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, it's really weird. When you watch it back, Odegaard's clearly pointing at the goal, like telling him, just go back. We're getting pressed right now. And he makes that decision. But, I mean, to be fair, what a fucking goal, dude. I agree with you. Incredible finish. Raya, obviously, in just no man's land. You just see him sprinting backwards. It never had a chance. One positive note from both games is Trossard.
Yes, sir.
He is a shooter, dude.
He's back. It's the goals that he's making are so funny to me because they're not whipping into the net. They're not cracking the back of the net. They're just crossing the line, which is really funny. But I think those goals, at least 2 of them, so I think he's got 3 goals in the last 2 games. I think 2 of those were nutmegs. That's Trossard. Like that is the epitome of Trossard right there. Skillful player. He's going to outdo you. He's not faster, obviously. He's not bigger. He's not stronger. But I think he has between his head, like the thing between his ears is better than a lot of people. So great finishes. If he's able to do stuff like that going into these Champions League games, right? Come off the bench, maybe nick us a goal. I think he might have to start. Who knows what Marino's up to? I think he's probably going to start, especially and with Partey out. I'm feeling good. He's finally clicking. It's been a while since he's gotten goals, right? It's been a while. I'm looking for Leo.
Yeah, me too, dude. I did hear a Partey shout, so let's just talk about him for a hot minute, dude. There's been some news surrounding him, a possible extension deal that Arsenal are thinking about, executing one of those classic 1 year plus 1 year option for a player who's going to turn 32, I think, next year. Very divisive news, I think. Some of the fan base is having none of it. Some of the fan base is supportive of it. And then there's a lot of the fan base who also bring up his personal life, some of his personal decisions, which I'm not going to comment on. That's always difficult with the knowledge that we have. It's always difficult to comment on those things. But how are you feeling about the potential return of Thomas Partey next season?
I think we're going to be on different sides of this one, KP. I am not too happy he's going to be back. I'm glad he had a good last season for us, sure. But I don't think he should be coming back into the squad next year. And I think those, you're talking about the off-the-field stuff, the extracurriculars, that's where I lay on it. Let it be. His contract is up. Let him go. I think he's 31 years old. Like, just let the man be. We talk about what the club represents. I don't think he represents that. Again, you also made the comment, we don't know a lot. That's true. There's ongoing investigations. Nothing's been set in stone. We can't say anything. But at this point, I think you pull your hat out of that. You just say, I'm done. I don't want any of this business around us, this talk, this chatter. So I would pull out. I'd be a little disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, your easiest solution for just avoiding all the talking points is to just let it be a goodbye, right? I also saw that as part of the extension, they were saying how happy he is in London, how happy his family, his wife and his kid are in London. So then that's the other part of it is like, well, that's not the club's responsibility to keep this guy happy in London, right? Like you can find another city, you can find another club if you wanted to. I'll be honest with you, I'm actually kind of with you in terms of I'm not sure if I want him back next season, and I'm kind of mostly looking at it from a footballing perspective, and I think, can he play the role of someone who doesn't play for a long time and then is called upon to come in, like as a sub? Do I see him as a substitute player to like close games out with 30 minutes to go? Not really. Do I see him as someone who can just be on the bench for a long time and then suddenly start a game and just boss it? not really. Like, we know this guy needs 4 or 5 games to play. So if the vision behind it is, let's say something happens and we need to shift things around, it's just a good option to have for a 5-10 run of games. But at the same time, it's like, I hope we don't have the injury situation that we had this year. So I'm not fully getting it. And he's my one to watch. He's had an incredible season. And then that's the other part of it. It's a contract year. How much can you believe in these performances, in this healthy guy that we've seen? We know next year is a World Cup year. I don't know what Ghana's situation is, but this guy going international very often, coming back. I'm with you, man. I think pull the plug.
I think you made some good points. I think we're talking about opposite reasons, but that's what you said. I see no flaw in that. Dude definitely always comes back rusty. He always comes in, needs a couple games to get back to his full self. I don't know if he can play that role, like the Jorginho role. Is he like the leader on the pitch at times? I don't see him that way. I don't see him as that kind of dude. He's just like a physical specimen. He's just better than a lot of people, and he can run it. But he needs the run of games in order to do that. I guess on the other hand, when our 3 other right backs go down, I guess we're going to need a right back. Where are we going to turn, man? Where are we going to turn?
Man, I hope we're not keeping him as a right back backup solution. Like, that would just make me sick, dude. All right. Well, couple of other players have been spoken about in terms of kind of keeping or trying to move them on. Next year, I think we'll have a lot of summer podcasts that will cover any transfer updates, and we'll have a season recap, etc. But for now, I want to chat a little bit more about one of the players who seems to just keep on firing, Jakub Kiwior.
The babyface Polish assassin doing his damn thing. Give it to me. It's been a love-hate relationship, but it seems like it's all love right now.
It's all love right now, dude. He's showing out, bro. He's showing out against Ipswich. I thought he had a really good game. Didn't have a lot of mistakes or things to worry you. I think a lot of the fan base has really come around to recognizing what he's capable of and giving him the flowers that he deserves. That's nice to see. And I mean, against the Palace game, what a header. It was like a 20-yard header that he scored. And to your point, it hit the back of the net harder than any of Trossard's goals.
Fair enough. You got to say, it seems like it's growth with this dude right now. I feel like past 2 seasons when you see him come in, almost like a lack of confidence at times. He knows he's the 6th, 7th guy in the back line, and he's getting his opportunity. He's looking at everybody else like he's the mediocre one. I feel like he's really taken a role of I'm one of the guys now. Confident, bro. Just confident. Have we seen a moment in the last, let's say he's played, I guess, like 4 games in a row for us. Have we seen a real moment where he's been like indecisive, not knowing what to do, shaky on the ball? I think the last moment he had, what was it, the first leg of Real Madrid when the ball went over his head? I think that's about it. He's been solid.
Yeah, and I mean, it's interesting when you think to the summer. I mean, Arsenal bought this player for £20 million. And now, after 2 years, he's really improved. I mean, I imagine the price tag has gone up, right? Like, if he decides, I want to be a starter somewhere, and he requests a transfer move, how much do you think Arsenal should sell him for?
I think there's got to be an ROI now. As of this last run of games, if before this run of games, I probably would tell you there's really not much there for us. After this run of games, yeah, I think there's an ROI. Say at least 30, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at double as well. I mean, he's a good defender. He's a solid defender. He's been a part of a team that's finished second twice, right? He's been a part of a team that's made a really deep run in the Champions League 2 years. I think the price has doubled personally, But we'll see. We'll see what comes of it. Huge credit to him, man, and very interesting. Like, is he in Saliba's head? We know he can also play right center back. Is he starting to affect his performances?
Getting ahead of our skis then. Getting ahead of our skis.
Anything else you want to talk about with the Premier League? I think, Sterling stands out this last game against Palace. Again, really upsetting people. I don't want to talk too much about him, but I want to more talk about, like, what was the manager thinking with that rotation?
I guess it would go to, who else do we have? Who else could have played there? I guess Waneri would have been the choice. I don't know. I don't know why. Sterling is just, I've completely written him off. I'll just be honest with you. I've written this dude off. Seen him out there. He's not giving very much, does he? He just doesn't seem to give very much. To me, it's where else can we go? I think Waneri's our only option. He eventually came in that game. I don't know, KP. Do you think we have another person that could come in and give us a shift?
Just Ethan, right? I don't know what's going on. Obviously, he hasn't been playing a lot in these last few games, and you've kind of expected him to have a little bit of a role in them. So to see him be deprioritized in the picking order, it just makes you think, what's the message that the manager is trying to send to this young man? Are the training levels not up to the standard? Is that why Sterling's getting picked for this game? Is he trying to save him for PSG just in case something happens terrible? I don't know. But at the same time, I have to be honest with you, when he brought on Saka and his first action was to sprint back for a counter, I thought, oh man, maybe we should have just kept Sterling on. Like, I don't want to see anything happen to Saka. So I kind of get the decision making at the same time.
So I'm looking at the table, making sure we get our Champions League spot. Currently in 5th place, it's Newcastle with 59 points, and they have a game in hand. Arsenal sitting on 67 points. So let's just say Newcastle get a win, they gain 3 points. That 5th place spot would be Forest with 60. It's a 7-point gap. There's 4 games left. I want to say that's enough. So it is interesting that Sterling is then playing. If it's enough, I say, let's just throw out a team that can perform to a level, to a certain. Why play Sterling? I kind of hope we don't see him again. I said this maybe 2 months ago, but I hope we don't see him again. I don't see any benefit really, other than if injuries happen in the squad. That's the only reason to play him.
Yeah, it does make me really sad watching him. Like, there was one move in particular against Palace that I remember where, like, Declan Rice drove through the middle. He had a couple of 1-2s, and then he slung it outside to Sterling, and it just killed the whole mood, dude. The whole move just went, and it's just sad. It's sad to watch. Hope he figures it out in the summer. Hopefully there's a good move for him somewhere if he wants to continue playing. I don't see it at Arsenal at all. In terms of the league, I hear you. I think that the Champions League spot is secured, honestly. But that fight for like the 5th and the 4th spot is looking really nice, dude. The fact that Forest just smacked up Tottenham, I enjoyed that on Monday. And then City, Villa, that was another good game. City pulled it out at the very end on Tuesday. So same with Chelsea at the weekend against Fulham. They had a comeback too. So all these teams are really trying to secure their spots, and it's fun. It's fun to watch. It's what makes the Premier League a little bit. Like, all right, the league is gone. Fucking relegation was decided when the season started. So now it's just nice to see at least have some kind of competitive nature to the league still. Makes you appreciate the format.
Oh, absolutely. Those last few places there, I mean, that's tight. It is really tight, and there's teams like in form that are really picking up. You could say like a Villa is just outside of that. They're going to be pushing for a spot. They're in 7th right now. It is from seventh to second, 10 points right now. Woof. Like that's a going across the finish line. I mean, look at us. We still have to play Liverpool. We still have to play Newcastle in those last 4 games. That's 2 tough ones. Obviously, Liverpool's going to be tough. Newcastle, a boogeyman, haven't beat them this season. Got beat. How many times we gotten beat by them? 3 times already?
Yeah.
3 L's? So
yeah.
This one's at home. Hoping for a better result just because it's Newcastle. Do not like them. But yeah, it's going to be tight coming across the line. Relegation, it's done. It is what it is. Too bad. But it is nice to see at least some games that matter in the league. It is nice.
It is. All right, man. Well, before we secure that Champions League spot, we have a big game in the Champions League coming up against PSG on a Tuesday at the Emirates. How are we feeling, man? How are we feeling as of Friday, April 25th, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time?
Gassed. I gotta say, a little bit worried. I started off, when we started talking about these last 2 games. Marino. That is my only worry, man, is Marino. If Marino can't play, that's going to be really, really bad for us. And then also the decision of where is he going to play. The assumption is Trossard's going to be playing the 9 and Marino's going to be playing the left 8, just like in the Ipswich game. And I thought that actually worked pretty well because they were able to kind of rotate, do their thing. But not even seeing him on the bench midweek is a little bit worrying, no?
It's a little worrying, but it's probably the manager playing mind games. I did feel like the team he rolled out against Ipswich, barring the outside backs, was kind of his way of trying to get a look at what he could start the PSG game with. And then came Palace, and he just thought, all right, I don't need to sort of see that look again. And there's no reason for PSG to get another look at that. So I'm going to change it up. I'm going to put this little seed in your head that maybe Marino's knee has just gone out, but hopefully not. I agree with you. He's probably now at this point the most important player that we have.
I think I'd probably agree with that. He really does seem to make us go, which is just crazy. Isn't that just a crazy thought to have? If you go back to the injury when he started playing, he's really gone up levels. I know it's Ipswich, so it's a kind of a tough opponent to talk about because it's Ipswich. But that midfield trio that we saw in that game, that was the midfield trio that everyone was talking about preseason. Marino, Odegaard, Rice at the 6. That was supposed to be the thing coming into the season. Haven't seen it very much at all. And when we did see it, it always seemed like there was issues. Like Marino hasn't been playing. He's getting thrown into the starting lineup. Oh, Rice has got a broken toe. They're playing together. He's just not firing. And then Odegaard, as we've seen all season, he's coming back from injury. He's sick. Like he's not on it. Those 3 in that Ipswich game, though, that actually looked tough. That midfield looked really, really good.
Yeah, it's weird because when you look back and think about the times that we have seen that trio, I feel like it's been accompanied with maybe a TP5 at right back. I feel like I've even seen those 3 players playing with Jorginho somewhere in there. So it hasn't been the free-flowing fit outside backs to support that trio in a way. And what I appreciate about Marino's performance is, especially when he plays that left 8 role, he ends up on the right side a lot, I think. Especially like he's counter pressing. Dude, some of the tackles that he puts in and around their box is so impressive. And then the way he's also involved in sort of last minute clearances in our box is like, I just think he's a good fucking player, dude. I'm starting to really vibe with this guy.
He's a true midfielder is what I'm hearing. He's actually a true midfielder that can do the role. He's on the up. 100% he's on the up. What, man? We're talking 25, 30 games into the season. We're like, I don't know who he is. I don't know who this guy is. I think we're finally figuring it out. I don't know if he's just getting used to it, if his confidence is now coming through because he's gotten his run of games. He's healthy. But he's actually, to me, he's getting us across the finish line. Obviously, at 9, the goal contributions are there. If we see what we saw with him at the 8, I am all for it. Respect to Marino, man.
He is still trying to draw too many fouls for me. If I have one knock on him, it's the fall over effect. It's the Spanish that lives deep inside his heart. I want to say cut ties with it a little bit. Let him loose.
It's in his roots, man. It's in his roots.
Well, all right, man. Well, I agree with you that the midfield battle against PSG is going to be really interesting to watch. I think William Saliba is going to be someone to watch after these last couple of performances from him. There is going to be a spotlight on him. And that PSG attack, I mean, we've talked about us being exposed on counters, and just like Madrid, they do have very, very fast players, and it's a little bit different than the team that we played in October or November that we beat 2-0. Our team is different, their team is different, but they do have this new player that they signed from Napoli who wears number 7, and I gotta be honest with you, he's an absolute dog, dude.
Would love to. I'm gonna give his name a shot, Kvaratskhelia. I'm gonna say it once. I'm gonna give it a shot. That dude's sick. He's tough. That's a dude you watch him play, it's like, man, I wish he was on our squad. Ooh, I wish he was on our squad, bro. He's a shooter. He gets the ball forward. He's always looking to go forward, and I love that. He's tough. Dembele is obviously on his P's and fucking Q's right now. He's killing. And then on the other side, you can look at, they have Barcola and the Doué kid. Both of them fast. Both of them have been scoring, doing the damn thing. Oh, man. I talk about a team in form. I think PSG is a team in form. If we're going to win this game, it has to come from the midfield. They're kind of slight, I would say, in the midfield. They got call them like lightning bug type players. So João Neves, Vitinha, small, slight, quick, going to be buzzing around. Fabian Ruiz is the other one who can hold it down for himself. He's a bigger dude. But if we're talking about our midfield 3 and 2 of them are Marino and Rice, they're going to have to hold it down physically. Kind of try to basically bully them. That's how I see that happening. Can we bully them enough? And then you got Miles Lewis-Skelly coming into the midfield as well. That's where the game has to be won, because those forwards are going to get their chances.
I totally hear you, man. And I mean, both back lines are kind of strong. Their back line is not a weak back line, right? They got Hakimi. I think that matchup against Martinelli, just two speedsters, is going to be pretty interesting to see how many corners Martinelli wins. I'll be watching for that. On the other side, Saka versus Mendes. I rate Mendes. I think he's a good outside back, dude. And first time around, Saka had his number. Let's see what he does second time around. They do have good center backs. Marquinhos is there. So, and then, you know what, Steven? My biggest worry after these last few games is penalties. They've got a guy in goal who loves penalties.
Donnarumma's that dude. You could say the same thing about Courtois, though. Just can't let it go there. Can't let that happen, because if it had gone to penalties, you can almost be sure Courtois would have had our number. Donnarumma's probably going to have our number too. He's just like that.
I think so. It worries me a little bit. And David Raya was pretty shaky against Palace. Hopefully that was just him having a little fun. But on the penalties, definitely I would give them the favorite. I do think that the first game being at home, again, like it was against Madrid, cannot lose. You just cannot lose, dude. I think even if we tie, I'm kind of at the same place that I was with it going into the Madrid game. Like a 1-1, I'll take it. A 2-1, I'd love it.
Okay. Have you watched the PSG ties against Liverpool or Villa. Did you watch any of those games?
I watched their games against Liverpool, the second leg of that. And the Villa game, I tuned in for maybe bits of it. I did see that number 7 on PSG score a very nice goal against Villa. But, both games, both situations that I watched, it did feel like the other team had chances to score. Liverpool had a lot of chances to score. Villa had a lot of chances to score. So that is encouraging that you can play through them a little bit.
So that's what I would say. I caught both of those ties, and it seemed like game to game, it was just completely different. The game states were just like out of control. When PSG had that home leg against Liverpool, they absolutely battered them. They killed them. It didn't end up on the scoreline showing that, right? Didn't end up on the scoreline at all, but they dominated that game. They killed them. Then it goes to Liverpool. Game was opened up. They did the damn thing. It's a very Liverpool type tie, I would say. Liverpool, I thought, dominated their home leg, but they didn't end up winning it. But the game was opened up. It was all about the counterattacks, all about quick, pacey players. The Villa tie, home leg against Villa, they battered them. They killed them. It was a 2-1 game, and for God knows why, they ended up letting Mendes get a one-on-one with their keeper, with Emi, in like the 94th minute, putting it at 3-1, which costed him the tie. Because then second leg Villa, they were in it. They could have won that. Villa was looking tough, and PSG looked very open in that. Arsenal is a very different opponent, though, man. I'm just interested to see what the game state of this is. We're not that team that's going to play run and gun type football, the control. I want to say it's going to look a lot more like the Real Madrid situation. Real Madrid has all the firepower in the world, but we were able to keep them at bay. I kind of see the same thing. I don't see them like running us over. I just don't see that happening.
No, absolutely not. Not with the performances Declan Rice is putting in the Champions League. It's just not happening, dude. There's 100 million man in the middle right there. I know they got a couple of those, but we got one. We got a really, really good one. So let's see how it goes. And I hear you a little bit about the game state. I think one of the things I'm most interested in is the atmosphere, both at the Emirates and in Paris, because their fans are cool, dude. The first time that we played them, I heard their fans a lot more than our fans at the Emirates. So I'm watching out for that, the home game, see what the fans can do. The game in Paris, oh man, it is going to be just like the Bernabeu. They whistle, they've got the flares, they are ultras to the absolute bone, dude.
Yeah, they're wild. Hopefully you could play on the fact of a lot of people talk about Arsenal, bottlers. They've never done it in Europe, blah, blah, blah. You could say the same thing for PSG, right? All the teams they've had over the years that have gotten to this point and then seem to end up choking. So you could say the same exact thing. Whoever makes it to the final on this side of the bracket, this would be their first trophy, right? Like their first big one, first Champions League.
Yeah, if they finish,
yeah. So hopefully you can play on that. Let's get a result at home, man. If you can get the result at home, hopefully we can put that tape in for them. Play it.
Well, I do think PSG has won the Champions League before. Let me see if I can fact check that. Oh no, they've never won. Yeah, you're spot on.
And you could take that to the bank.
Yeah, so there's a lot on the line for both squads. In a way, if whoever wins the game, I do hope wins it all. From the PSG perspective, I kind of get where they're coming from, right? The message you would send to Mbappe would be pretty funny.
I'm 100% with that. Obviously want us to win, but if for some reason we don't, Barcelona, Inter on the other side, nah, I don't want either one of them to win. So absolutely give it to PSG.
Yeah. All right, man. What else should we talk about for that PSG game? I said kind of my score predictions. Well, what do you think the full tie score will be? What do you think the first leg will be?
Let's go full tie, over under 5.5. What do you think?
Oof. 6 goals across 2 games. Oof. I think it's possible. From an Arsenal perspective, I'd like it to be 4. I think if it's more than 4, like I think under 5.5, Arsenal win the tie. Over 5.5,
that's what I'm thinking.
I worry that PSG are going to win that tie.
That's why I threw that out there. I think under, we win. We take it. We control it. What I'm just talking about, game states. If we're able to control it and keep ourselves in it, I think we win. If we allow the games to get open, we're chasing stuff, I don't think we can't keep up with them. We just can't. So give me the under.
Just physically, with the squad's hamstrings, I don't think we could keep up, right?
No, absolutely not. I mean, we're talking about Sterling having to play the last game because we don't really have any other options. Bruh. Bruh.
Yeah, dude, funny things happen, right? Against Palace, I think Timber had a moment where he just stepped weird and then he was limping for like 20 minutes on his ankle. Like you never know what could happen, dude. That just changes everything for us. I am very confident in our outside backs, however. I've just really, really enjoyed watching Timber this season, and I'm hyped for him. He really shows out in these Champions League games because it allows him to kind of drive a lot more. And I like seeing him on the ball. His long passing is still the one thing that I notice from time to time that it's just not good enough. But the rest is class, dude.
So if he can be on the lockdown defender on Kvaratskhelia, if he can go 1v1 versus him, he is our best 1v1 defender right now. So if you want anyone playing the right back, it's him. That'll be an interesting matchup. I'm going to go first leg. If we draw the first leg, we're obviously still in it. But I want to win it. If we can take a lead going into Paris, I can see us really pulling it out. So I'm going to throw out a 2-1. Something in my gut's telling me to say 3-1 for some crazy reason. But I don't want to do the curse. So I'm going to say 2-1. And my fingers are crossed for a 3-1.
I hope so. I really hope so. 3-1. I like 3-1. That's a good shout. Anything else you want to get on the pod today?
Happy 100, KP. Happy 100. It's been a good journey to get here. Second full season, I believe, right? Second full season doing the damn thing. So, congrats to us. I appreciate you, co-host.
Happy 100, dude. Thanks for the gift. Steven got me a really nice retro blue Arsenal jersey with a classic O2 on it. Big hype. And yeah, dude, it's been fun, man. We've had a plan, and I think we've executed it to perfection. And here we are now, 100 episodes later, just still having fun with it. We appreciate everyone who listens, everyone who leaves a review or a rating, and keep it up. We hope you enjoy these episodes as well. We hope you enjoy the chatter. Enjoy your weekend. Good luck to everyone's mental health and blood pressure on Tuesday. We will see you on the other side.
Be easy.